Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, potholes are popping up all over town with frustrated drivers saying it's turning their daily commute into an obstacle course. Plus, a court-approved visit turns deadly. 3 sisters found dead, their father on the run, and questions about why warning systems failed to protect them. Plus, flash flooding turns deadly in North Texas as slow-moving storms dump heavy rain across the region.
We'll be talking about our very hot and steamy weather. In fact, if you thought today was bad, it's going to be getting even hotter as we get to the weekend. Other side of that, maybe some rain, and we'll talk about that coming up in a moment.
The Justice Department is suing Texas over college tuition for undocumented immigrants. Why the Attorney General is calling the 20-year-old policy illegal. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. Well, it doesn't take long to find a number of potholes along your drive to work or while out running errands. They can easily damage your vehicle's alignment or cause more serious issues with your vehicle. We drove several roadways today, including Garrett Street, Lilac Lane, North Street, and East 1 Lynn Street, and this is what we saw. 25 News Now has asked the city of Victoria for the cost of pothole repairs last year and this year, as well as the number of repairs made last year and so far this year. We are waiting for them to gather that information and send it over to us. We have also reached out to the cities of Cuero and Port Lavaca. In the meantime, we want to hear your stories with potholes in our area. Just email us and send us some video or photos to staff@crossroadstoday.com, or you can always call the newsroom. The number is there on your screen. And here's your viewer poll today. How often do you encounter potholes on your daily routes? Very often, occasionally, rarely, or never. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And 92%, that is a huge majority, say very often they encounter potholes on their daily route. 7% occasionally. Interestingly enough, never is at 0%. Keep voting and we'll have the latest results coming up on 25 News Now at 6. A former Victoria resident is heading to jail after admitting to stealing from her employer. Today, 48-year-old Carrie Ann Matthews pleaded guilty to taking more than $150,000 from her employer in early 2023. That's a second-degree felony. As part of the deal, she will serve 30 days in the Victoria County Jail, followed by a 10-year probation. She is also ordered to pay back nearly $227,500 in restitution. In a separate case, a Victoria County jury has found 62-year-old Adam Don Molina guilty of stealing from his employer while on the job back in May of 2022. Molina was convicted today of felony theft for taking more than $2,500. He is now serving 10 days in the Victoria County Jail, followed by 5 years on probation, and he will have to pay back over $36,000 in restitution. Police are searching for a father accused of killing his 3 young daughters during a court-approved visit. It's raising new questions about how quickly emergency alerts go out to protect kids. ABC's Zoreen Shaw reports.
A small town in Washington state in mourning and on alert. State law enforcement, the FBI, and Homeland Security officials urgently searching for a father who they believe killed his 3 young daughters during a court-approved visit. Authorities say 32-year-old Travis Decker, who has military training and might be on foot and armed, is a threat to the community.
It could be anywhere, and we're taking that into consideration. Thanks to the U.S. Marshal's Office that have come in and brought additional resources. Again, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Homeland Security Investigations. We are searching anywhere and everywhere for him.
Decker is now wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of his daughters. The bodies of 5-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 9-year-old Peyton were found Monday in a wooded area near a campground. All 3 believed to have been suffocated by their father, who was with them on a scheduled visitation approved by the court. Decker's truck found nearby, but he was gone. When the girls did not come home when they were supposed to Friday, their mom contacted police, but investigators say it did not meet the legal bar for an Amber Alert. The criteria for an Amber Alert includes reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred and fear that the child is in imminent danger of bodily injury or death.
Just because a parent with custodial privileges is late bringing a child back does not mean there's been an abduction. And so there was not specific evidence of an abduction.
Instead, the police department issued what's called an endangered missing persons alert, a lower level alert that does not automatically ping mobile phones.
Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing, do what you need to do, and take accountability for your actions.
Police say Decker had been living out of his truck and has a history of mental illness. Zoreen Shah, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The American Legion and local veteran groups are inviting the community out to Riverside Park in Victoria for a free night of baseball and celebration. It's all in honor of our veterans, National Flag Day, and the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. The fun starts early on Saturday, June 14th with a blood drive, bounce houses, music, and food trucks kicking off at 1 p.m. Gates to Riverside Stadium open at 5, and the Victoria Generals take the field at 7. Pre-game tailgating is allowed. Entry to the event and baseball game are free. The summer swelter is about to hit. Let's go to Mac Perez for a first look at the hot and sticky conditions we can expect. Mac?
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate anyone who's an air conditioner repairman because they're going to be very valuable over the next few days. This afternoon, we popped up a few little showers from the activity that came down from central Texas that we'll talk about in a minute. Looks like they're getting some actual rain in the Houston area, but the temperatures are going to climb even higher. We're looking for upper 90s. And the heat index is really going to be up there at the dangerous level. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Shawna, back to you.
One person is dead after getting trapped in a flooded car overnight in Dallas. Dallas Fire Rescue says 2 vehicles were caught in rising water under the I-635 bridge. 2 people made it out safely, but rescue crews could not reach the second car due to the strong current. When the water finally receded, they found a man inside who did not survive. Heavy rain from slow-moving storms caused flash flooding across parts of North Texas, closing roads in several cities. Sodas and candy will be banned from Texas food stamp purchases with the passing of Senate Bill 379. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com. President Trump's spending bill is facing criticism even from Elon Musk. He is warning of debt slavery, while the budget office says the bill adds nearly $2.5 trillion to the deficit. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
Republican infighting on President Trump's one big beautiful bill boiling over. House Speaker Mike Johnson today tamping down Elon Musk's comments, calling the bill a disgusting abomination.
It surprised me, frankly, and I don't take it personal. We don't take it personal. Policy differences are not personal. I think he's flat wrong. I think he's way off on this.
It comes as the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office today says the bill will cut taxes by $3.7 trillion and at the same time add $2.4 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. Musk posting on X today reacting to the increased deficit, saying this is debt slavery for the American people. Republican senators, including Ron Johnson and Rand Paul, are calling for changes to the bill, including steeper cuts to federal spending.
I agree with Ron Johnson and other colleagues who have rightfully said that we have to bend the curve on spending.
Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene now warning about a section in the bill she voted for on artificial intelligence. She's calling it a violation of states' rights.
This clause would take away state rights to make laws or regulate AI for 10 years. I think federalism is something that we must always protect.
Greene admitting she did not know that section was in the bill, now calling for it to be stripped out.
Here's a lesson for us all. No matter what political party holds office and is in charge, we should all watch carefully the bills that we pass.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer today.
This bill is just tax breaks for the ultra-wealthy, paid for by gutting health care for up to 16 million Americans.
Late today, Elon Musk making his thoughts clear on the bill, telling Americans to call their members of Congress to kill the bill. Musk says bankrupting America is not okay. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
The Justice Department is suing Texas over a controversial college tuition policy. The lawsuit claims Texas is discriminating against out-of-state students by giving undocumented immigrants in-state tuition rates. Attorney General Pam Bondi says a 20-year-old Texas law violates federal rules. arguing schools cannot give benefits to undocumented immigrants that they don't give to U.S. citizens. Texas lawmakers are already trying to change the law. The state Senate advanced a bill last month that would end the policy and make students pay back the difference. A Texas man is facing charges after jumping over a wall at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate late Tuesday night. 23-year-old Anthony Thomas Reyes was caught by Secret Service agents. Palm Beach police say Reyes told them he wanted to get on the property to spread the gospel and marry the president's 18-year-old granddaughter, Kai Trump. Reyes is charged with trespassing and is being held on a $50,000 bond. He's pleaded not guilty. This is not his first time, though. Court records show he was previously caught trespassing at Mar-a-Lago last December. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, where you can see all of our news. Hit the like button and click the notification bell to receive alerts. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Wegovy helps teens lose weight when diet and exercise fail. The medical debate over using the drug during critical growth years. Plus, your family member acts differently lately. Is it Alzheimer's or just getting older? Experts reveal the warning signs that make the difference. More American teens are using Wegovy as the obesity crisis gets worse. New data shows teen prescriptions for the weight loss drug jumped 50% last year as families and doctors become more comfortable using it. Wegovy became an option for teens in late 2022 after traditional approaches like diet and exercise largely failed. But some doctors are still hesitant. They don't know the long-term effects on kids during critical growth phases, and the treatment may need to be lifelong. Medical experts say we need to better understand both the positive and negative effects before widespread use. June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, and right now more than 7 million Americans 65 and older are living with the disease. Experts say the brain changes can start decades before symptoms show up, which is why early detection is so important. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither shares a new campaign highlighting the 10 early warning signs to watch for.
It's a brain disease causing a slow decline in memory, thinking, and behavior. In 2022, Alzheimer's disease was the 6th leading cause of death in those ages 65 and older. And the Alzheimer's Association says nearly 14 million Americans in that age group are expected to be living with the disease by 2060.
This is a public health crisis.
A new campaign is aimed at making people aware of 10 early Alzheimer's warning signs often mistaken for normal aging. Memory loss that disrupts daily life, challenges in planning or solving problems, difficulty completing familiar tasks, confusion with time or place, trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships, new problems with words in speaking or writing, misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps, decreased or poor judgment, withdrawal from work or social activities, and changes in mood and personality.
Early detection can really help ensure a loved one receives the best care, support, and access to treatment.
Experts say close family members are usually the first to notice these changes in a loved one, so being aware of the potential signs is critical.
With that knowledge, empower family members to have a conversation about Alzheimer's if they notice a difference in their loved one's attitude or behavior.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
For more information on the 10 warning signs, or if you have questions, check out the Alzheimer's Association's website at 10signs.org. The organization also has information on resources like emotional support groups that can help both the patient and caregiver after a diagnosis is made. There is a nationwide recall for some ground beef that was sold at Whole Foods. The USDA says some packages of organic rancher ground beef may be contaminated with E. coli. It comes in 1 pound vacuum-packed packs labeled 85% lean, 15% fat, with use or freeze-by dates of June 19th or June 20th, 2025. The beef is no longer on store shelves, but if you bought some recently, check your freezer. No illnesses have been reported so far. Graduation season is winding down, and we are celebrating the class of 2025 as they graduate. Natalia has graduated from the University of Houston, Victoria. Congratulations from your loving family, mom and dad, your husband Eddie and family, Madison, Chris, Madeline, grandchildren Aiden and Ethan. You are amazing, and we are so proud of your accomplishments. Rayleigh is a Victoria West High School graduate. We are so proud of you, Ray. Watching you achieve your goals fills our hearts with joy. You've worked hard, stayed true to yourself, and now the future is yours to shape. Congratulations, babe. And you have until June 13th to send in a photo and heartfelt message for your 2025 grad. We are featuring these grads on air and on social media. To send in yours, go to crossroadstoday.com, then click the Entertainment tab, then click the Contest tab. Here are some of the top headlines you can read this week in the Cuero Record. A new Justice of the Peace takes office in DeWitt County, and Cuero pays tribute to what is called the most expensive holiday. That's Memorial Day. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com.
And good afternoon, everybody. We're still looking at 91 degrees. It feels like 102. The winds are out of the east-southeast at 13 miles an hour. The high today was 92, but you know what? By the time we get to the weekend, that's probably going to be about 96. So it's getting warmer and it'll be quite humid. We'll have the latest on your forecast and take a look at the tropics coming up in the morning. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a good thing there's indoor air conditioning, isn't there? It's going to be very valuable over the next few days. You might have noticed that we did have a few pop-up showers around the area. First of all, we had the sea breeze going north, and that triggered a few showers. And then we had the remnants of what happened last night in North Texas actually moved down to our area. Now here's Dallas. Well, we had some big stormy weather that started there, and then the line just kept going south and got to about to Austin before it actually fell apart. Here's the remnants of that line. And so that also enhanced our chance for getting some little pop-up showers. But that's going to be decreasing rain chances over the next few days as we're getting hazy, hot conditions. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The rain in Dallas is finally over with as well. So let me tell you, the heat index, we don't do this to make it sound worse. We do this to give you an idea of how your body will be stressed. because the heat and the humidity together cause you to perspire, right? But if you're perspiring and it's not evaporating, well, then you're not cooling down. So that's when it gets dangerous. So today our peak was at 102. Thursday, Friday, we start getting into 107, 108. This is going to be important for anybody outdoors. Now, you can go outside, but you just need to make sure you got a hat and you get plenty of fluids and you don't overdo it in the middle part of the day. Pardon me. There you see the sea breeze, and that's why we did pop up those little showers today. There's that front that I told you about that was coming down. It's not much of anything. It's just a little bit drier on the other side, but it should be falling apart and not really plowing down into our area as well. So, I mean, it looks like a front, but it's not much of a front. So stay hydrated, take plenty of breaks, limit your strenuous outdoor activities. I mean, you know, you gardening, you're playing the ball with the dog, that's all fine. Check on the elderly and the pets, and make sure that if you're really feeling flush, very red, perspiring a lot, you just go to a public space, the mall or something, and walk around a little bit and cool down. When you see this orange here, that is high pressure, okay? When that is over us, this orange color, that means it's hot, okay? But you'll see here that as we go forward, the high pressure bubble is actually going to move to the west, and that's going to allow this system to start getting close to us and lowering the pressure over our area. But that's next week, okay? That's on your Wednesday of next week, and that one is going to help us get us back into some shower activity. Problem is, we got to deal with it for the next few days. 76 our overnight low. Tomorrow we're getting up to about 93 and 95 in most inland areas. Here is the Saharan dust. This is going to be visiting us over the weekend. This over the Caribbean right now. It'll be over Florida tomorrow, and then right here by the time we get to the weekend. So we're going to be seeing dusty skies and red golden sunsets, but lower visibility because of that dust coming across from Africa. 90 tomorrow in Port Lavaca. In Cuero, you're getting up to about 93. The haziness will be with us right on through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then after Monday, we'll keep our fingers crossed that we get another bout of some shower activity here in the Crossroads. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Shawna.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read this week in the Port Lavaca Wave. A local barbecue joint lands in the top 8 spot in a statewide survey. And some Calhoun County 6th graders release butterflies on their last day of school. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. Still to come, steel and aluminum tariffs doubled today. What the trade war escalation means for American businesses and your wallet. A mixed day for Wall Street today. The Dow closing down 92 points, the S&P 500 up less than half a point, and the Nasdaq rose 62 points. Oil is down 67 cents to $62.74 per barrel. As of today, U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum doubled to 50%. It's a move cheered by the beleaguered American steel industry, but worrisome to sectors that heavily use metals, from cars to can manufacturers. Ivan Rodriguez breaks down President Trump's latest decision and the possible impacts.
The hike from 25% to 50% on aluminum and steel tariffs is President Donald Trump's latest move in his ongoing trade war.
What this is going to do is jack up the price of steel, which then jacks up the price of inputs for American manufacturers.
While it won't hit your wallet immediately, experts say high prices are inevitable on everything from appliances to canned goods to cars.
The thing these steel tariffs do is they help Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, of course, the Steelers, that's where they make steel. But I'm coming to you from just outside Detroit. And here we make cars and a lot of manufacturing, and almost every other part of the manufacturing sector uses steel.
The Steel Manufacturers Association praised the move in a statement, writing, quote, "This action will strengthen a vital industry that has suffered from global overcapacity, largely driven by China."
Listen, we're going to make our money, but others are going to lose, and we got to make sure that we balance that.
Jojo Burgess, the mayor of Washington, Pennsylvania, and member of the United Steelworkers Union, says the news is a double-edged sword.
The yo-yo effect of the tariffs have created a lot of instability. We don't have enough consistency, because we might be sitting here next week talking about it's back to 25% because of they're working on a deal.
Experts also warn there are more jobs at risk than are protected by the tariffs.
Net effect of this is going to be to destroy manufacturing jobs.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Ford is recalling more than 550,000 vehicles due to airbag and structural issues that could raise the risk of injury. One recall affects more than 63,000 Ford Mavericks with airbag lights that may not work properly, meaning passengers might not know if their airbag is on. The other recall involves nearly 500,000 Ford Explorers with door trim that could come loose while driving and become a road hazard. Both recalls cover model years 2016, 2017, and 2025. Well, dear old dad is likely to make out like a bandit this year. According to the National Retail Federation, spending on Father's Day is expected to reach $24 billion this year. That's a record, and way up from last year's $22.4 billion. Based on survey responses, the average person plans to drop about $200. All that dough will go to things like greeting cards, clothing, a special outing, and gift cards. And just over half of those surveyed are actually buying for husbands, sons, brothers, friends, or grandfathers. Father's Day is Sunday, June 15th. A rare full moon is set to light up the sky this month. Find out when to look up, coming up next.
Tonight, President Trump's trade war pushing prices higher. Will it drive up your grocery bill? Plus, tracking the Canada smoke and Saharan dust seeping into the U.S. Where it's headed, World News Tonight with David Muir is the #1 newscast in America.
Well, get ready for a glorious strawberry moon this month. The final full moon of spring is known as the strawberry moon, and it will happen early on June 11th. But scientists say the best time to see it will be the night before on Tuesday, June 10th. So you can mark your calendar. June's strawberry moon will be the lowest full moon of the year for stargazers north of the equator. The strawberry moon is named for the wild strawberries that ripen this time of year. When I first saw it, I assumed it was the color of the moon.
Yeah.
But it has
about,
to do with the agricultural seasons.
Yeah. A good thing it'll be on the 10th, because if it were this weekend, we may not get to see it with all the haze that's going to be in the atmosphere. You know, we were talking about that Saharan dust. It's a pile of dust from Africa has floated over the Atlantic and is coming to visit us in the next few days. So you're going to be, what is that? Well, it's African dust blown up by the high winds. So we do have a rather warm forecast for you. In addition to the haze, we're looking at temperatures pushing into the upper mid 90s. And of course, the heat index will feel it much worse than that. Hopefully next week we got a chance for some rain.
All right. And we will see you back here in 30 minutes right after World News. Thanks for joining us.